But I think like, okay, I'll say it like this, like just to make a standpoint on it. I feel like the biblical way for Christians, a good biblical way for Christians to handle this topic, because I think about it, like, what if someone were to ask me, like on a big podcast or even a secular podcast, like, what do Christians think? Like, you know, there's some Christians that are like super hateful and all this stuff, and there's some Christians that are accepting. But I feel like we're kind of in the middle where it's just like, you said it perfect. This is like, to sum it all up, it's basically like this, like, we believe in the Bible. Our whole life is based on the word of God. So what's in there is important to us, and we back it up 100%. And we like 100% love the sinner. Like, we do not condemn anybody.
Yeah.
Because right away people like focus just on gay marriage or like trans, all that stuff, whatever the case is. Like, but then they forget about all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? All the other sins. And it's like, no, like God cares about everything, you know? But specifically on that, it's like, we love people, but we love them enough to tell them that they're wrong. We love them enough to tell them, like, dude, the path that you're on right now, like, it only leads to death.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't bring life. Like, even just talking in the natural, 2 men together does not bring life.
It doesn't.
2 women together does not bring life. Now, people would say this argument, like, okay, what about 2 people that are together, that male and female, but they can't have kids? Like, is that the only basis for like life? Like, okay, but in a perfect form, they should be able to have children, but we know life happens. Things happen. We live in a fallen world. Like, things happen. There's, you know, disease, there's the infertility. Like, these are things that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's life. But in a perfect world, they have the capability to produce children, to produce life. 2 men together, they don't have that ability. It just produces death or produces nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, going back to it, it's like, dude, you guys are on the wrong path. Like, we love you enough to tell you that you're wrong. Yeah. And if you look statistically at like those people that are gay, people that are trans, they actually are more depressed. They actually live it's crazy. This is crazy. This is a real statistic. They actually live less years than a person that's like straight. Isn't that crazy? Really? Whether it's to do with suicide, disease, like stuff like that. So it's just like,
well, sin leads to death.
Yeah, exactly. So even if you just take away like just the actual like, oh, you're gonna go to hell, like I don't think that's the right response, because I feel like people don't even want to hear that anymore. Like, if you tell a gay person like change because, you know, like you don't want to go to hell forever, it's like they're not even gonna accept it. But it's basically, I feel like the good approach to someone that's gay is like, look, because we had someone that was gay come to our church, remember? Like, and even your cousin too. Like, you know, but we had someone come to church and he was gay, and I'll never forget, he was just like, man, I really changed because you guys never told me to change. I changed because I felt God here. I felt his presence, and the Holy Spirit is the one that brought conviction. And I got free. Remember that? And we didn't tell him like, dude, you have the spirit of homosexuality. Like, you need to change all this stuff. We didn't even mention anything. We loved him where he was at. But if he were to ask any of us, we would tell him what's up, you know? And I feel like that's where a lot of Christians are missing it. It's like, they're scared to put their foot down and be like, this is what I believe. The Bible backs up this belief, and this is why I believe what I believe. Like, we are all called to be better. We're all called to be, you know, like loved. We're all called to be like in perfection. And unfortunately, this lifestyle does not get us there. You know what I'm saying?
And I think too, like, people that, you know, freak out because they're like, well, why are you guys like so like, you guys like are super against like the alphabet community, and you guys are like, you know, you guys are always saying stuff about it. Like, this isn't the only sin. But the point, like, I think the reason why a lot of Christians are very passionate about speaking out about it, like we are, is because now it's like now it's like after the children. And that is when we're like, be Christian. You're a Christian or not even a Christian. Like, you don't have to be a Christian to see that that's wrong.
Did you see the news? Did you see the clip? The Armenians in Glendale. Oh, sorry, hit your mic.
Yeah.
Dude, did you guys watch that?
I didn't watch it. I think I saw like a post about it on Instagram.
Dude, the Armos, they're crazy. So I work over there, right? Like Glendale, Pasadena area, and you're not messing with those kids. Like, they're so Armenians are like 99% Christian. When they come here, like maybe they don't fully live it, but like over there, like where they live and stuff in their countries and stuff, they're super, super like Christian. They're super about family, all that stuff. So like, for those that haven't seen, they basically like they went to the school board in Glendale, and they had like this big old like clash with like Antifa / like, you know, these like, you know, pro everything basically, you know, like this other party or whatever. And but anyways, they clashed with them. And they were just saying like, not our kids. Like we're not bringing this stuff into our kids in our schools. Like it's not happening.
These are things that are gonna like literally can change history. Because if we're just like, all right, do whatever you guys want, fine. You guys want to live that life, okay, fine. Like do whatever you want. You could pass all these laws. Like think about how it's gonna look in the future. Like even like pedophiles are in that group of the alphabet community where they think like, oh well, love is love. So like how far are you guys gonna go?
One. I bet you
like,
for anything. I bet you that's gonna be the
it's
next
already
thing.
trying to be something, and like and what's gonna happen? Like they're gonna be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, because they start to get kind of like, how do you say that word? Like desensitized? Yeah, like they just kind of, it becomes like, oh, okay, yeah, it's true. Like love is love. Then you should be, if it's in consent, like you should be able to love a 3-year-old, and it's like, when are we gonna stop, and I think that's why a lot of people are very passionate against it. And it's not so much like, oh, this is the greatest, because we know it's not the greatest sin. Like we know that every sin is the same, but when it's something like this in your face and they're trying to change culture and it's like, that's when we stand up as believers and we're like, no, like this is not going to happen in our generation. Like we're not going to stand for this. And that's why I love even like Mama Des, what she wrote, and she was like, like you like we have to do the work, like and she gave us like all the information and all that stuff to like
shout out to Mama Des.
I know she's always doing that. And that's so important because if we stay silent, like what's gonna happen to our kids, our kids, like it's just crazy. Like
it's sad, but I feel like bringing that up, I feel like it's just we're not that we're gonna lose, because at the end we're gonna win, but it's only gonna get darker. I mean, it's biblical.
But we're not gonna go without a fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but we're still gonna put up a fight for sure. We're still gonna like stand up for our kids and stand up for truth and what's right. But like eventually, like look at like everything. Like I never thought marijuana would be legalized one day. When we were little, it was like, oh my God, he's smoking weed. Like, he's gonna go to jail right now. You see somebody. It's like back then, smoking weed was like smoking crack now. Like you hardly would, or if you saw it, you're just like, oh my gosh, like this is so like, illegal right now. Now it's legal. Now it's legal. And then gay marriage, I'll never forget. It's like 2008 when everyone had like the Yes on 8 bumper stickers. Remember those? And it was like family or whatever. I put one on my backpack. I like taped one on my backpack like in high school and stuff.
You did, Manny?
I was crazy back then. I was wild.
I'm confused.
Yeah, it was funny. But anyways, like I remember in 2008, like the whole thing was like Yes on Prop 8, keep family together. And then like I think it was like it was good. Like, and I think the next couple of years, then it got overturned, and ever since then, like gay marriage has been, But I feel like, and that's why I asked earlier, you guys, like, I feel like this year's so much different. It's so much different. Like it's getting so much harder. But I feel like it's because of the division of the church. I feel like not only are we like, and it's not a fight against the world. We don't fight against flesh and blood. But before, I feel like the church was kind of more united in that, and now it's almost kind of like we're even that much less powerful in a way as far as numbers, because now like the church is on that side now too. And again, it's not a us versus them, but in the spirit it is, right? But like I feel like it just feels like
and it's like a false thing, because a lot of Christians, like, or even just people, right? We were created to love. We were created to be, like have compassion and all of that stuff, but it comes because of Jesus, it comes through that. And it's like, I think a lot of times like and I understand like in their mind, they want to fight for people's rights to be free and to not, be bullied or not be, and I'm
for that too.
Don't I'm for that too. Like don't bully them. Don't, like fight them and do all these things. Like that breaks my heart like, anytime I hear about that. Sure. It's not Jesus. But I think that they're coming from like, I guess like a good place, but it's a false love. It's like they're thinking that they're doing good by like supporting it, but they're damaging them. They're damaging, like they're bringing more like them to be more depressed and more, like in that lifestyle that doesn't bring life. Like you said, like it does not bring life,